Hey everyone, take a look at the new Premier League Player of the Season pack on eFootball. As always, I'll put timestamps in the description for each player. So if you want to hear about any particular players, so click in the description and there'll be links to take you straight to them. We will start with the lowest rated player as always, and that is El Khannouss from Leicester. So we've got a creative playmaker, attack midfielder, that's what he usually is, but they've also made him fully proficient in 3 positions where he's not fully proficient on his GP card. So they've added centre midfield, left midfield, and left wing forward. He does have a face scan, only standard form. Don't know if he's going to be staying at Leicester after they've been relegated. Remains to be seen whether he gets a live update next season. And it's the first time I got a feature version of this guy. What they've done from his GP card, they've boosted his attacking awareness, his ball control, his pace, his balance. They've taken 6 points away from his lofted pass. Strange, but yeah, on the whole, you got a fairly tidy playmaker here. Finishing's not brilliant, but passing is just another one of these cards. Are you going to play him as an attack midfielder? Low pass 82. Let's see if he's got the passing skills. He does. So some might feel like you can get away with that as an attack midfielder. I personally wouldn't. I want at least mid 80s on low pass, even with 1-touch pass and 3 passing skills. So I don't personally think he's going to be good enough for passing the ball for an attack midfielder. Certainly won't play him centre midfield. He can't defend. He's physically weak. I think this guy's going to be better on the left. He's got the pace, balance, good on the ball. End product is fine when you move him out wide. I'd like the finishing to be higher on that left flank as a right footer come inside. Has he got long-range curler? No, he's not got long-range curler. Okay, so there's an issue over his finishing a little bit when you play him out wide, but I still think with all the qualities he's got, he's going to be much more effective playing off that left wing than he is as an attack midfielder in the middle of the park. So yeah, he's definitely got some qualities, this guy. It's just where you want to use him. Skill-wise, the changes they've made, they've taken away, I think, Scotch turn and heel trick. They seem to take heel trick away fairly often on these trending cards. I like that skill. It's a shame. What they added, pinpoint crossing and gamesmanship, I think is new. Interesting. So yeah, got some pretty good skills there. You got soul control. You got long range shooting to help with the shooting. It would be nice if you had long range curler, maybe first time shot, but it is what it is. You got 1 touch and through. Pinpoint crossing if you cut inside and put a crossing with your right foot, I guess. Or if you play him centrally, you might drift down to the right, I suppose. But yeah, like I say, I personally wouldn't play him in the middle of the park. You know, he's not strong physically. He's not great at passing. But if you play him wide left, yes, you've got a bit of a concern over his finishing. Be careful not to ask too much with his finishing. But his passing should be decent for a wide man. And like I say, on the ball, attacking awareness, pace, balance, looking pretty decent. So it's not a brilliant card. It's obviously the lowest rated one in this pack, but I think certainly playing wide left, he could be a handy one for that English League challenge. Could be a very decent option. I just don't think he's going to quite cut it with his passing as an attack midfielder, but I do think certainly wide left, it could be a half decent one for sure. And next we have Chris Wood. So this guy has been criminally underappreciated this season by eFootball. All he's had is 1 highlight card in some kind of legend pack. No player of the week cards or anything. He's had a great season, Chris Wood. He's been changed to a fox in a box. He's normally a target man. And we've only had 1 previous special version of him. We had a highlight card in some kind of legend box, as I mentioned. In terms of overall ability, pretty similar really. But if you max that card out, the highlight card and auto allocate, it's got a bit more awareness and finishing than this card. Whereas on this card, you've got a few more points in a bunch of other areas. If you try and retrain the highlight card to kind of match this one overall, I do think that you'll find this one is just slightly better overall. So I would say this card's a slight upgrade, and I personally much prefer the fox in the box playing style. Like I always say, on a big physical striker, he's going to be quite decent in the air. I prefer the fox in the box playing style. I like the way they time their runs into the box to get in the end of crosses. And I like the way that they move around a bit more, whereas the target man will just kind of stand still and not move around, which frustrates me. So this looks like a very interesting version of Chris Wood. What they've done from his GP card, it's a mixed bag. They've given him +1 in his finishing, which is nice, because you're at least going to hit the 90 mark with the maximum game plan boost. So he's got pretty decent finishing on him. But unknowingly, they've taken 1 point away from his attacking awareness. Someone make sense of that to me. Player of the season pack, striker, -1 attacking awareness from his GP card. I'm just tired of trying to make sense of some of the things they do. But he's had a very nice boost on the ball and his passing as well. He's got a bit more speed. He's got a bit more kicking power. A bit more jumping as well. Very nice on a big physical guy like Chris Wood. I'm guessing he's going to have an area superiority. We'll check that in a second. But annoyingly, there's another negative here. They've taken 6 points off his balance. It's bad enough when they did it on Player of the Week cards. How is Chris Wood's balance 6 worse on a card that represents him as one of the players of the season? Oh dear. Anyways, let's look at the skills. So yeah, we got aerial superiority, excellent. So heading, aerial superiority. We don't have acrobatic finishing. That's a bit of a shame on a big guy. You're going to be putting crosses in for this guy. But 6'3", jumping 85, physical contact 88, aerial superiority. Yeah, he's going to win some headers for you. So you've got heading and aerial, then we've got first time shot. They've added a long range curler. Interesting, that's a very good addition. I don't think they've taken anything away. They've just added long range curler. They've added long range shooting as well. One touch pass and fighting spirit. So we've got a pretty good selection of skills on this guy. The one that I really would love there, like I say, is acrobatic finishing. It's a bit of a shame he's not got that. You're pinning crosses into the box, the ball's flying around, and yeah, you want acrobatic finishing on strikers, especially the big guys like Chris Wood. But yeah, you do have a very good selection. You've at least got heading and aerial, and then first time shot, long range curler, long range shooting. Fighting spirit is a nice one to have, especially when he's already quite a big, strong boy. Got a face counter, of course, had that ages. Yeah, I think this as a fox in the box is a decent card. He's not going to be amazing in the build-up. The passing is not too bad. Low pass 71. He's got one touch pass, but no through passing. But he certainly could be worse for a big physical guy, for a kind of a target man type of striker, albeit without the target man playing style as such. I think and obviously the balance is pretty poor, which is very, very annoying. But yeah, awareness kind of okay. Would like it to be a bit higher. The fact they've taken 1 point away from that is absolutely preposterous. But giving him that boost that they have on the ball, nice finishing. Boost to his jumping as well on a guy who's already decent at winning headers, with a physical contact, good heading. His physical and his heading both going over 90 with the game plan boost. I think this guy, if you like a big physical striker, you like putting cross into the box, I think this looks like a very interesting version of Chris Wood. So yeah, it just comes down to whether he does suit the way you play, the kind of suit that, you know, if he's got the kind of profile of strikers you like to use. If he does, I think he could be a great one to have, especially for that English League challenge. If he doesn't, if you prefer the kind of small, nimble, pacey goal poacher types of striker, I don't think you're going to be listening right now. You just skip to the next player already. But yeah, if he does suit you in terms of the overall profile he's got physically, especially that playing style, and some pretty good skills in there, yeah, could be a very nice striker for a lot of people, I think. And next we have Kluivert from Bournemouth. So he's got his regular playing style as a whole player. They've increased his weaker foot accuracy by 1. Got a face scan, of course. Kluivert's one who I've said the last 1 or 2 times we have versions of him. They changed his profile a while back now. I forget how long ago it was. Maybe a year ago, 6 to 12 months ago, something like that. He used to be a roaming flank and he just had left wing and right wing forward positions. And then they changed him at some point. They decided he's a whole player. They gave him attacking mid and they gave him left and right midfield as well. So we've had some different versions of Kluivert over the course of time. We've had a couple of player of the week cards this season. One of them's not quite so good. The better one has a booster. When he gets the booster, pretty similar to this one overall, to be honest. You could argue the toss either way. Obviously, stats are kind of shuffled around slightly. One thing that player that the booster player of the week card does have is he has better finishing, even before the booster. But it's not a lot of difference overall in terms of overall ability. There was a match pass version of Kluivert. That was a whole player. Pretty similar overall. Got less physical contact than finishing than this version. More lofted pass. We'll come to that. And there are a couple of old roaming flank highlight cards. Like I mentioned, he used to be a roaming flank. Those roaming flank cards, when you auto allocate them, they've got a bit more pace. They're a bit better on the ball. That was one thing they changed when they made them a whole player, in terms of the way they balance the attributes out. But you've got more end product with this, or more physical contact as well. And also, you can't train those old roaming flank cards as an attacking midfielder if you like. This guy's an attacking midfielder. Interesting boost from his GP card. The kind of highlights, the kind of most significant changes. We've got +10 on finishing, which is great. +9 on tight possession, which balances out his on the ball attributes. That's really good as well. +15 on physical contact. That's very significant. But the one negative, -10 lofted pass. Why? Why has he suddenly become terrible at crossing? I mean, if he's got that, if he's suddenly become that much worse at crossing, why don't they, update his GP card? There's an idea. But yeah, lofted pass is down 10. They've not actually boosted his defending attributes much. That's strange on an attacking player in one of these player of the month, player of the season packs. Let's look at the skills though. So we have lost cut behind and turn, and I think pinpoint crossing. So yeah, I guess he definitely can't cross the ball anymore. They've nerfed his lofted pass and taken away pinpoint crossing, and they have added one touch pass, through passing, and fighting spirit. Nice additions. Very nice that he's got one touch pass and through passing now for an attacking midfielder. He's got long range curling, double touch, fit flat, soul control. There's your ball roll, double touch. You've got a nice bunch of skills there on the ball, shooting, passing. Very interesting. The passing is borderline though. Are you going to use this guy as an attacking midfielder like with El Khannouss? Is that high enough for me? It's not. You could maybe get away with that. It's not, obviously not quite as low as El Khannouss. It was 82, I think, on him. 84 low pass. He's just not quite in +3 territory, so your maximum boost on low pass will get him to 86. Yes, he's got one touch and through, but I think for a lot of people that probably still be a bit on the low side. But out wide, has he got the pace? Yeah. Balance? Yeah. On the ball? Yeah. Bit of end product? Yeah. Could be a very interesting left or right midfielder with the whole player playing style, making those interesting attacking runs off the wing into good attacking positions. I fancy this guy as a wide midfielder. He looks really neat. And that boosts for his physical contact as well. A lot of these kind of small, nippy wingers and attacking midfielders, they can be great on the ball until you get into a physical draw, and then you can just get bodied online. That's the way it's been on the game since the last major update, where physical contact became so much more important. But getting him up to 75 there physical, it's going to make him a lot more comfortable in the middle and in general when you're getting into physical draws and physical tussles with opponents. So yeah, this is an interesting version of Kluivert. It's very interesting. I think it's a very nice looking guy. It's got a lot of quality. Some people will think the passing's fine to use him as an attack midfielder, in which case great searching skills, loads of great attributes outside of the passing. Could be a very effective on attack midfield if that passing's okay for you. But I think for a lot of people, whether it's as a wide forward without an active playing style or left or right midfielder as a whole player especially, I think with the qualities he's got, how good he's going to feel on the ball, he's got that low centre of gravity look, and with the qualities he's got on the ball and a bit of end product as well, some good skills, pretty two-footed. Yeah, looks like a very interesting card. Obviously, all these cards you can use in the English League Challenge goes without saying, especially for that, but just in general, I think it's a pretty handy card, and if you do get it, I think the vast majority of people who do get this card will be pretty pleased with it. Yeah, next we have Alex Iwobi from Fulham. So Alex Iwobi's been changed from a left wing forward to a left midfielder, which makes absolutely zero difference because he's got both those positions anyways. He's weak for accuracies, +1. What have we had of Iwobi before? We've had a player of the week card with a booster. With that booster, it's fairly similar, but the passing is better on this one. I think for that reason alone, I'd probably prefer this version. Better highlight version of Iwobi as well. That was an attack midfielder. Not quite as good as this card overall. We're not a million miles away. Depends how you train him, of course. Not a massive difference though. What they've done from Iwobi's GP card. Always got a face scan before I forget. From his GP card, so we got a bit less attacking awareness. We got a bit less on the ball. Not the best start, but nice boost to his end product. Bit of a boost to his pace, his kicking prowess, physical contact. Of course, they boosted his defensive attributes. We've lost 2 points off balance. We've lost 5 off stamina. Yeah, a mixed bag there. Some nice boosts, but some weird decisions as well, as always. We can live without a few points on the ball because you're still going to go hit the 90 mark on all 3 of those with your game plan boost, I guess. But yeah, strange to take a few points away from a bunch of attributes, but on the whole, it is a good version of Iwobi for sure. And then he's got unwavering form as well. I didn't realise this guy was unwavering and versatile. Let's have a quick look at his skills, what they changed here. They've taken away Sombrero. I think we can live without that. They've added Soul Control, Long Range Curler, Heel Trick, First Time Shot, Pinpoint Crossing. Nice. I think that's a pretty fair trade, those 5 skills for Sombrero. Yeah, very nice. So Soul Control, lovely. Long Range Curler coming off that left wing if you play him on the left. Very nice. Heel Trick's a lovely one. I do like Heel Trick. First Time Shot, and then you got one touch pass and through passing. You got Pinpoint Crossing as well. Could you play him on the right? Put some crosses in? I don't know. Lofted 76, even with Pinpoint Crossing, won't have a great cross on him. I think he's going to be best off the left wing, which is where they've got him. That finishing's going over 80 with the game plan boost. He's got long range curler. He's got first time shot as well. Yeah, coming off the left wing, I think that's where he's going to be best. Through the middle, but low pass 80, absolutely not. Not for me. I said the same thing on a couple of other cards already. That passing is not going to be good enough through the middle, in my opinion. He's not strong enough defensively to play centre mid either. So for me, definitely this guy's going to be best where they put him, which is left wing, whether it's a left wing forward or left midfield. He'll be a creative playmaker in all his positions except for centre midfield, where he won't have an active playing style. But yeah, either of those positions down the left-hand side, got a decent pace. He's got a little bit of physical strength, like with Kluivert. A bit of balance, even though they've nerfed that for some bizarre reason. Good on the ball, good attacking awareness and finishing. The passing's okay when you put him out wide. With the skills he's been given, which he's got some, he's got some really nice additions there. Yeah, another handy one for the. And again, these cards can all be used in the English League Challenge. He's versatile, albeit I think he's a lot better on the left than anywhere else. But yeah, I do think on the left, he's not necessarily one people are going to look at and think this is a really top card, but definitely a very usable one. I don't personally like the playmaker playing style out wide. I always say that, but that is just my preference. If you don't mind the playmaker out wide, yeah, I think on the left wing, cutting inside into his right foot, this guy could be a very useful one. And next we have Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who plays for West Ham these days. Got a face scan, of course. He's a defensive fullback. First things first, they've added right midfield, left midfield, and left back. I don't remember seeing Wan-Bissaka play as a left winger. I must have missed that much. Maybe you did. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just can't quite picture about Wan-Bissaka running up and down that left wing. Anyways, yeah, we had a few versions of Wan-Bissaka at this point. Obviously, he was at Man U for a while, so we had loads of versions of him in Man U packs and so on. We had a legend version of Wan-Bissaka. If you look at that one, according to eFootball Hub, at least, I don't know if the overall rankings are still a little bit off, but it looks like that's 4 higher overall than this one. But looking at the attributes of the legend card, it doesn't look like that big of a difference, really. You know, he's got way more kicking power than this card, a bit more speed, more stamina. But this version's actually got a bit more physical contact than the legend card, at least on auto allocation. And that legend card doesn't have left back or left midfield. If you ever want to play Wan-Bissaka as a left winger for any strange reason. So yeah, if you've got that legend version, you've got a better version. But if you've not, I don't think this one's that far off, to be honest. I don't think it's 4 less overall. Doesn't look like it anyway. Compared to all his other cards, he's up there, to be honest. He's comparable to his better highlight cards. It's a very good version of Wan-Bissaka, this. From his GB card, strangely, well, I say strangely, I've taken 6 points away from his speed. But I think we can afford that as long as those points are being distributed elsewhere. Still 92 speed before your game plan boost. We've lost a bit off his kicking power and his stamina, so obviously lower bodies where we've had a bit of a nerf, but we've gained 6 points on acceleration. That's very welcome. We've gained 12 points on physical contact. That is a big boost, and on a defensive fullback, that's fantastic. But we've lost 3 points on tackling. Can we afford to? Yes, but why would you take 3 points away from tackling? That's just weird. Pretty nice boost down the left column, especially as passing. Yeah, looking like a pretty solid version of Wan-Bissaka. I mean, it would be nice to have boosted a few attributes a bit more, because ball control 73 and low pass 73. That's pretty horrific. So, yeah, as I always say, though, if you like a defensive fullback, a lot of people who like defensive fullbacks don't really mind these attributes so much. They just want him to be good at defending and protecting the defense. In which case, if you're not bothered about these attributes, it looks pretty damn strong. For me personally, I like attacking fullbacks, and whatever fullbacks I use, I like them to be able to control the ball and pass it. So that does concern me. It might concern you. Skill-wise, we've lost cut behind and turn. I think we can live without that on a defensive fullback. We've gained through passing and pinpoint crossing. Interesting. So I'm not sure those are the skills you really need on a defensive fullback, because he's not going to get forward a great deal. Through pass, I do think, is a very useful one on any player, even on centre-backs or even on goalies, to be honest. Pinpoint crossing, like I say, is he going to get forward enough to put crossing? If you play him as a wide midfielder, he is, I guess. But let's get to the important ones defensively. Man marking, interception, blocker, aerial superiority, sliding tackle, acrobat clearance, fighting spirit. Basically every defensive skill, really, except maybe his heading. So yeah, be careful with his heading, because his heading absolutely sucks. But yeah, as a defensive fullback, I think he's got a very good card here. He's got the pace. He's definitely got some physical strength on him. Balance isn't amazing. Could be worse. Stamina's fine. Defensively, strong there. I mean, they've taken a few off tackling, but he's still going over 90 for tackling on a defensive fullback. That's fantastic. Likewise, engagement. Down the left, you will have to be careful with this guy. He's not going to be amazing in possession of the ball, so do be careful. But yeah, he's very much a defensive fullback. So if that playing style works for you, he's going to stay back and defend. All the kind of the physical athletic stuff and the defensive attributes and the skills he's got, it could be a very effective defensive fullback. I'm not sure how confident it'd be on the left, because he's not particularly two-footed. He doesn't have outside curler. And as a winger, I mean, are you going to use Wan-Bissaka as a wide midfielder? I guess that's if you use wing backs and you have a right midfielder and a left midfielder as wing backs, in which case I guess he could do a job there. But as a wing back, you want a bit more going forward. I think you wanted to be able to control the ball and pass the ball a bit better. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think many people consider this guy as a wide midfielder. I think for the vast majority of people, you're looking at a right back and a defensive one. And as a defensive right back, I think this is a very solid card. If the profile and the playing style are the kind of thing you're looking for, I think this could be a very appealing card. We have just one goalkeeper in the pack. We've got Aaron Ramsdale, who's been playing at Southampton all season. He has a face scan, 6'2". He's not got amazing arm coverage, but it's a reasonable height, unwavering form. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, I don't know if this is eFootball, but it looks like they've increased his form from his GB card. I don't think I've seen that, certainly not for a while on a trending card, but yeah, it looks like his form's gone up to unwavering on this player of the season card. And yeah, he is very good, surprisingly good, in fact. This is the best version we've had of Ramsdale. We've had a bunch, highlights and a player of the week card as well in the past. But yeah, we've not had one this good. with the maximum game plan boost, all 5 of these goalkeeping attributes are going 90 plus. This is a very strong card. Skill wise as well, it looks like they've added long throw and penalty saver. Again, I don't know if eFootball Hub is just playing up on his GP card, because it's not often they add skills to a goalie, and it's certainly not often you see the form changing on a trending card. But yeah, we've got low punt, long throw, penalty saver, captaincy, got a good bunch of skills for a goalie. Unwavering form, the goalie attributes are really good. This is a very strong goalkeeper card. Like I say, he's not got massive arm coverage, so he's not like, not like a kind of Donnarumma or a Courtois. He's certainly not in that kind of category in terms of his physical profile, but in terms of the attributes, very, very strong as a goalkeeper option for the English League Challenge. Yeah, this is a really strong goalie card. I'm not sure he's necessarily who I'd have picked for Southampton, but yeah, unwavering form, great stats. Like I say, the only thing against him really is he's not quite got that physical profile of the bigger goalies, but for the English League Challenge at least, this could be a very nice goalkeeper option to pick up. Next up, we have Daniel Muñoz from Crystal Palace, who is a box-to-box right midfielder apparently. So Palace do use a kind of 3 at the back formation, so I guess that's fair enough. He's very much a kind of a wing back. He's at least a very attacking right back. He's normally a fullback finisher and a right back, so that's a significant change to his playing style and position. And quite generously, on a card that you can't position train, they've made him semi-proficient as a right wing forward. Awesome. We've had a couple of Player of the Week cards of Muñoz this season, both from international weeks, and they're both fullbacks, so different playing styles and positions. Neither of them quite as good. Stats are shuffled around quite a bit. Both of them have significantly better tackling than this card, so that's one thing I've got over this card. And before I forget, do have a face scan. We had a version of Muñoz in our Premier League pack not far back. That one wasn't quite as good as this. Again, kind of shuffled around a bit. Different playing style. That was a right back, of course, fullback finisher. From his GP card, tackling has been nerfed slightly. That's very, very annoying. I know he's a very attacking fullback, or box-to-box right midfielder apparently, but surely tackling is a bigger part of his game, and if he's in Player of the Season, surely you're not going to nerf his tackling. But yeah, tackling is down by 2, stamina is down by 3. We can afford that. Apart from that, though, almost every attribute has been boosted. To be honest, he's had a pretty nice boost on the whole. He's got the pace, the stamina. I think just about everything's fine down the right. I'd like a little bit more balance, I guess, but yeah, I think for a wing back, looking all right, down the middle. Defensive awareness sucks. Tackling's been nerfed a bit. That's really annoying, and it's just not quite high enough. So depends how you're going to use him. But yeah, there's a couple of concerns there. No concerns with the aggression or the engagement, of course. But yeah, awareness and tackling, dodgy. Down the left, not brilliant on the ball. The dribbling's fine, but ball control 76, tight possession 72. I think they've done him dirty a little bit there. I don't think he's that bad on the ball. Low enough to pass are fine for a fullback. For a wing back, probably okay. Unwavering form. What have they done skill-wise? We've lost heading. It looks like we've lost heading, but we've gained one-touch pass, man marking, and track back. So, all things considered, whether you use this guy as a right back, which he still can, of course, or as a right midfielder, wing back, whatever, one touch through, pinpoint crossing, and then defensively man marking, interception, blocker, slide and tackle, fighting spirit. Track back, if you use him as a wing back, could be a very nice one. Long range shooting, is that going to really be useful? Probably not. But yeah, on the whole, either as a right back or as a kind of right midfielder or right wing back, you've got a very good selection of skills there. So yeah, it's an interesting card. This, I think, it's just a question of whether his whole kind of profile really fits into the way, your kind of tactical setup, your formation, and so on. You're going to play him as a right back without an active playing style because you've got a great selection of skills and a lot of good attributes, but a couple of those most important defensive attributes really suck a bit, and he's not brilliant on the ball. Or we're going to use him as a right midfielder, in which case, again, he's not great on the ball. So, yeah, there are 1 or 2 negatives whether you use him as a right back or a right midfielder. There are 1 or 2 real concerns with the attributes, but there are a lot of good attributes. He's been boosted a lot from his GP card, and he's got a very good selection of skills. So, just look at the overall profile, the stats and everything. He's not going to suit everyone. It's a very interesting card, this, but if he does suit you, if the qualities work for you and you don't mind the slight negatives, a couple of ways you could use him, and he could be a very interesting card for some people. I just think he's probably going to divide opinion, this card, but yeah, 1 or 2 real negatives, real disappointments with a couple of attributes, but a lot of good attributes, nice boost, good skills. Could be an interesting card for quite a few people. And this one isn't such an interesting one, but it's definitely a good one. So we got Cucurella with his magnificent hair. He's got his usual playing style and position. Nothing's really been changed particularly here. It's obviously a good version, but yeah, we've had a few versions of Cucurella this season, and there's not a lot of difference here. We've had a few Player of the Week versions. None of them quite as good as this, except for one that's got a booster. That booster arguably makes it slightly better, but not a lot of difference really, all around the same level, to be honest. We've had some highlight versions of Cucurella. There's the free Spain one, which is probably not quite as good as this one, but again, not a massive difference. There's one of the new transfers pack that's about the same overall, to be honest, but they are shuffled around from this one. To be honest, I would say this version of him, even though he's not quite the best in one or two areas, you know, you always get a bit less pace, and for example, on these trending cards, I think this is probably the most well-rounded and overall best build. I think of Cucurella. It's about as good a version I think we've had of him. We have lost 4 points off kicking power and stamina, 1 point off balance, but he's had a nice boost to his defending, his passing, his finishing and set pieces, interestingly. Yeah, it's a good version of Cucurella. They've actually not nerfed his pace, I don't think. So yeah, you're going to hit 90 speed and acceleration there. Got a little bit of physical strength. Balance is decent. Stamina's good. Defensively, all 80 plus when you get your maximum boost. Down the left, all the important technicals on the ball and passing can be 80 plus with your game plan boost, except for tight possession, which isn't too bad. So yeah, and actually low and lofted pass are good. Mid 80s on those. That's really good for a fullback. Skill-wise, some good additions here again. They've added through passing and pinpoint crossing, so getting forward, those are really good skills to have on an attacking fullback. And then defensively, they've added man marking, interception, blocker, and they've also given fighting spirit. So again, really good selection of skills on an attacking fullback. Very, very good. I don't think he's quite got the attributes going forward to be a winger as such. A wing back, certainly you could do a job, but as an attacking fullback or a wing back, I think you've got a really good profile here. The attributes are good, the skills are good. I wouldn't touch him as a centre back. He's not tall enough. He's not good enough defensively or physically. But yeah, attacking left back Cucurella. It's not a lot more to say, but it's just a very good, solid attacking left back. There's nothing really out of the ordinary about this card. It's just a very good version of him. Like I say, if you've got one of the Player of the Week versions from this season, I'm not sure it's really worth spending this pack just to get this guy, because he's not that much better, I don't think, than the Player of the Week cards. Pretty similar on the whole, but this is a very good left back. You know, if you don't have a good version of him, if you want to get a left back for the Premier League and you're looking at which cards in this pack are going to be worth spinning, definitely a very good left back option for the English League Challenge, and even outside of that. So it's just a very good, solid, well-rounded attacking left back with a really good selection of skills. It's a good card, this. And this is an interesting one. There's quite a few people looking at this card. We've got Morgan Rogers, whole player, got a face scan, of course. This is an interesting card. We had a version of this guy in Player of the Week, and it was in a regular Player of the Week pack, and he was kind of good on the ball, bit of pace, but physically strong, good balance. He just felt nice in the ball. To be honest, this card is actually just about better than that Player of the Week one. That Player of the Week kind of had a booster. Even with the booster, I'd say this one just about edges it. And I think that one was previously the best version of him, probably. There's been a few Player of the Week cards, the other two not so good. There's been a highlight in some kind of legend box. That was a left wing forward prolific winger. It was only semi-proficient AMF and SS. And again, this one's better. I think it's the best version of Rogers we've had. He's weaker for accuracy, he's +1. They've actually added the SS as a position, which is great. And yeah, this is a very interesting card. You know, a lot of these attributes just aren't quite where I'd want them to be, but there are quite a lot that are pretty close. You know, he's got decent pace, physical contact 85, balance 87. They boost his physical contact a lot, actually. Physical contact is up by 13 from his GP card on auto allocation. Acceleration's up by 10. There's a load of stats that have gone up by a few points. Lofted pass is down by 6. That's maybe is a shame, but he's a right footer on the left or through the middle. I don't think crossing is going to be too important, but yeah, he's just kind of so many attributes are either just about where they need to be, or like even just slightly better than that. It's just annoying. There's a few like the on the ball attributes. All three of those are 1 point away from the 87 mark, so you're just not quite going to hit 90 for them, but you're close enough. And like I say, you know, the pace, you're at least in +3 territory. Physical contact, you're going to get to 88 as well. Same as speed and acceleration, and balance up to 90. This guy's going to be nice on the ball. He's going to be very hard to get him off the ball. He's pretty two-footed with that increase to weaker for accuracy. Let's look at the skills. There's an interesting one in here. So they've taken away scissors feint and low lofted pass. I think we'd live without scissors feint. Low lofted pass is a bit of a shame, but we've got a bunch of new ones. They've added long range curler, long range shooting, first time shot, outside curler, fighting spirit. Got a really good section of skills here. If you play him on the left, as a lot of people will, cutting onto his right foot, long range curler along with long range shooting and first time shot. Fantastic. He's got one touch and through as well. The interesting one, they've added pinpoint crossing at the same time as nerfing his lofted pass by 6 points. So he's worse at crossing. He's better at crossing. He's worse at crossing. He's better. Was he better at crossing this season? Or was he worse? Someone please explain. I'm losing my mind. But yeah, anyways, I don't think crossing is going to be that important. So yeah. But yeah, whether you play this guy through in the middle or wide left, as an attacking midfielder, like I always say, low pass, I mean, mid-80s is a minimum for me. You're at least in +3 territory. So with your maximum boost, your low pass getting to 88. You've got one touchdown through. He's got that physical strength and balance, and he's got the fighting spirit. He's going to be pretty strong on the ball. You can probably get away with that passing. Some might say that's still a bit low. I'm a little bit borderline. You push him a bit further up as an SS with the whole player playing style. 80 attacking awareness, comfortable on the ball, physically strong as well. The passing now, I think, is I've been more comfortable with that. Finishing at 80 with the shooting skills he's got. Yeah, very interesting just behind the attack. And then wide left, you could play him as a left wing forward without an active playing style. I think that'd be very effective. Again, with that long range curler, especially coming off the left wing, and he's got the passing. Left midfield with the whole player playing style. Very interesting. This is a really nice card. I feel like this is going to be one of the more popular cards in this pack. He's not like a top level kind of elite card in terms of the overall rank and all the rest, but when you look at all the attributes, the overall profile, physically and technically, and sorry, someone's knocking on my door, I'll ignore that. And the skills you've got, they've added, obviously pinpoint crossing, not so important, but the other skills they've added, the overall profile, the ability, the stats and everything, this is like a really interesting card. Through the middle, wide left, could be a really nice card. I think it's going to be a very popular one, and for me, it's my pick of the pack that I've looked at so far. It might be my pick of the pack overall. I think this is a really nice looking card, this. And now we have João Pedro from Brighton. Deep lying forward, centre forward, got a face scan. They need to update his hair, he keeps changing his hair. We've had a player of the week version of João Pedro while he's been at Brighton. Not quite as good as this card. Not a massive difference though. That player of the week card can play as a left wing forward though, whereas this one can't. He can't position train these cards. I've had a couple of highlight versions of João Pedro. Neither of those are quite as good as this one. But stats are kind of shuffled around a little bit. Obviously they're trainable, and both those cards can play as a left wing forward, so pros and cons. From his GP guide, what they've done, we've lost the point off finishing. Okay, we've got a centre forward in player of the season. His finishing is one worse. Okie dokie. Lost a couple of points for acceleration. And there's a bit less on his heading, jumping, and set pieces. He's had a nice boost on the ball though. Low pass has been increased by 19. That is a big boost. It's one of the biggest boosts I think we're going to see in this pack. 19 on his low pass, 10 on lofted. Nice boost with his physical contact as well. So yeah, again a mixed bag, but I think on the whole, nice boost, especially that low pass. Let's look at what they've done with the skills. We've lost chip shot control, rising shots, and acrobatic finishing. They take acrobatic finishing off quite often on forwards these days. I hate that. It's a really nice skill to have. But we have gained soul control. That's a nice one to have. We've gained long range curler, likewise. Through passing, very nice addition. That's an important one. And outside curler. So yeah, shame we've lost acrobatic finishing in particular, but I've got some good ones there. Long range curler, long range shooting and first time shot, and a through passing on a deep line forward. Very nice addition. Soul control, outside curler. Yeah, you got good searching skills down the hole. I feel like he deserves fighting spirit. He's got a bit of aggression about him, João Pedro. So yeah, the question is, where are you going to play him? Attack midfield, 83 low pass. He's got through passing, but not one touch pass. I would not play him as an attack midfielder personally. SS or centre forward. As a centre forward, 85 attacking awareness, borderline for me. 83 finishing, not great. I'm not sure he's really a centre forward. As a centre forward, he will be dropping deep with the deep line forward playing style and getting involved more in the build up. They're not too aggressive with their attacking runs, so does that mean you can get away with slightly lower finishing? Some might say so. I'm not sure. Certainly you can get away with them as a centre forward, but I'm not sure that's where he's going to be best. I think as an SS, a little bit deeper, it's probably where he's going to be best in that kind of in-between role, where he's not really an out-and-out midfielder or centre forward, just in between there. Pretty tidy on the ball. Passing there, not amazing, but it'll be decent enough with the through passing skill just behind the attack, and finishing likewise at 8-3 with those shooting skills. That'll be fine as an SS. I mean, to be honest, as an SS, he won't play too differently to a centre forward. It's just a question of how much importance he places on the passing and the shooting, because, like I say, he's not brilliant at either. So I just think in between, just behind the attack is where it'll be best. The deep line forward playing style is not for everyone. I'm not a massive fan. It does seem to be a bit more effective since the most recent gameplay update. And yeah, I think as a deep line forward, this guy's decent. I don't think he's amazing. They have given him a nice boost in some areas. Obviously, his passing has been massively improved, so that's a big plus. And on the ball, he's a lot better and stuff. So yeah, there are qualities with this guy, but I'm not sure he's amazing anywhere. I don't think he's quite got the passing attack mid. I don't think he's quite going to be good enough with his finishing as a striker, and the attacking race is a bit low for me as well. Balance is a little bit on the lower side likewise, but as an SS just behind the attack, I think it could be a decent one. I think some people could find this guy very useful, but I don't think he's an amazing nicker one. For me personally, if I do choose to spin this pack, I've not decided yet, but the fact he's been linked heavily with Newcastle, that might make him appealing to me, to be honest, just for that reason alone. But if I put that to one side and just look at how good he is for the English League Challenge, would I use him? Maybe. He doesn't excite me too much. He's definitely a decent version of João Pedro. Some of the boosts they're giving him very nice. He's definitely, as a deep line forward, quite decent. It's just a question of whether that playing style works for you and whether you think all the attributes are where you want them to be for a deep line forward. So for some people, this guy could be a very handy one to pick up. But others, it might just probably may not suit you so much. But certainly for some people, it could be a pretty interesting card. And next up is new Chelsea striker Liam Delap, who's been at Ipswich this season, of course. He does not have a face scan yet. I'm sure we'll get one pretty soon. He's normally a fox in the box. They changed him to a goal poacher. I'm not sure he's got the profile of a goal poacher. I think he suits a fox in the box a bit better, maybe, but he's a goal poacher this time. His weaker foot accuracy is +1. We've got a highlight card of Liam Delap. That was a fox in the box like he normally is. This card's a bit better overall. We've not got as much balance on this card compared to that highlight card on auto allocation, but we're better in a bunch of other areas, so this card is slightly better overall. From his GP guys, had a nice boost on the ball. He's had a decent boost to his pace and his kicking power. We've lost 2 points of jumping. We've lost 4 points of balance, so that's annoying. I know I always have this rant, but I can't stop saying it. Why do they keep reducing balance on attacking players in Team of the Week and Team of the Season, whatever? Very annoying, but yeah. Overall, though, looking decent. Skill-wise, lost Scissors Feint. I think we can live without that. In exchange for Scissors Feint, we've got cut behind and turn, long-range curler, long-range shooting, rising shot is new, first-time shot is new, and fighting spirit. I think that's a pretty decent trade, all those skills for Scissors Feint. So yeah, we've got a much more usable centre forward now, skill-wise. Solskjaer, a very nice one to have there. And yeah, long-range curler, long-range shooting, first-time shot. Again, it would be nice if we had acrobatic finishing. We've got area of superiority, but we don't have heading. It's a bit of a shame. What's his heading like? 73, yeah. So he will win some headers, but how good are his actual headers going to be when he does win them? Not great. That's a bit of a shame. And like I say, acrobatic finishing would have been nice, but yeah, he's had a decent enough boost overall. But just looking at it in isolation, the attacking rate's 84. We're just shy of that +3 territory, so you're only going to get that 86 maximum with your game plan boost on attacking rates. That's not brilliant. Finishing 85, you will get +3 on that, so that'll be okay, but I still like to be a bit higher. On the ball for a goal poacher, pretty decent. Passing, horrible. Pace, decent enough, but I still like a little bit more for a goal poacher. Bit of kicking power, nice. Physically strong, but balanced. Obviously, it's been nerfed a bit. It's horrible. So, yeah, all things considered, is he going to, will he get a few goals for you? Yeah. Will he, will it be a useful one for the English League Challenge? Yeah, pretty useful, I guess, if you need a striker, but is he a great one? Is he one of the players you're going to look at in this pack and think, yeah, I'll be pleased if I get that one? I'm not sure. I don't think many people, obviously Chelsea fans will be pretty keen to get him, but outside of Chelsea fans, maybe Ipswich fans, if you forgive him for leaving. I don't know if this is a particularly exciting card. He's nice on the ball for a poacher, but outside of that, which of his stats are really particularly good? The awareness and finishing, meh. Pace, meh. Decent kicking power, quite strong. Balance, oof, no. Had a good selection skills out of there, so it's not a bad card at all. But yeah, I think it's just one of these cards where I think if the English League Challenge pops up and this guy's got form and none of your other strikers have got form, put him in your team and he could probably do a job. But beyond that, I don't think this is going to be too exciting a card for many people. It's not a bad card at all. I just don't think it's quite good enough for many people to be really keen to get it from this pack. And next we have Brennan Johnson from Spurs, prolific winger, face scan, which I really think could do with updating. He's had a left wing forward added. He's also got left wing forward this card, which is nice. That's a nice addition. His weaker foot usage and accuracy both +1. We've had a few versions of Johnson. We've had a couple of Player of the Week versions of him before. We've had a deep line forward Player of the Week card as a centre forward. That was a bit better than this one. Kind of similar as a winger, to be honest. Not a lot of difference, just kind of shuffled around a bit, slightly different profile. And there was a prolific winger Player of the Week card. It's pretty similar overall. I would say not quite as good as this one. I've had a couple of highlights of Brennan Johnson in the past as well. There's one on the national pack that was quite similar as a winger. Arguably a tiny bit better overall, with not much in it. Pretty similar as an SS to this card if you're going to play him just behind the attack, but it had mainly had slightly better passing than this one, to be honest, but less physical contact. As a centre forward, that one from the national pack slightly better than this one, but only slightly. It's mainly due to better attacking awareness. And we also had a highlight from some kind of legend box, which is, to be honest, slightly better than this one in just about all positions, really. So this isn't the best version of Brennan Johnson, but it's looking like a pretty decent one still. From his GP card, we've lost 1 point off dribbling, which is strange, but we're still at 88. I think we can afford that. We're going over 90 with the maximum game plan boost. He's got good dribbling. The biggest boost he's had is on his finishing and his physical contact. Outside of that, I don't see anything being boosted massively, really. He's just had a kind of decent boost across the board, really. And then skill-wise, I've taken away penalty specialist. I think we can live without that, because in exchange for that, we're getting double touch, soul control, long range curler, another one with long range curler added, pinpoint crossing, and track back. So pretty good selection of skills there. It'd be nice if we had through passing as well. Without through passing, I don't think I'd want to play him through the middle there. We've got first time shot on long range curler, pinpoint crossing. So skill wise, you can put him on either flank, really, but with lofted pass 76, a right footer, do you want this guy on the right hand side? His crossing is not going to be great, even with pinpoint crossing. Through in the middle, like I say, as an attacking mid, 70 low pass. No, I just no. SS, I mean, he's got one touch pass, but yeah, that passing is an issue. You could maybe just get away with as an SS, no active playing style, but I think most people would want that passing to be better there. And even with the boost to his physical contact, he's still not the strongest physically. So yeah, I think if you're going to play into in the middle, more likely as a centre forward, but then even as a centre forward, attacking where 78, finishing 81, yeah. I don't know about that. He's got great pace going through the middle. He's got some good shooting skills. A finishing 81. You can maybe get away with. Very good on the ball. But I think the best way to use this guy is going to be on the left-hand side as an inverted winger. As a right footer coming off that left flank. Got the pace. The balance could be better, to be fair. But he's pretty tidy on the ball. Finishing 81. The attacking where's we at the 80 mark. First time shot on long range curler there. Yeah, I think would be the best place to use Brennan Johnson, to be honest. I think you could use him on the right. He's obviously got the pace, he can dribble, he's got some qualities from the right hand side, but I think he's going to be most comfortable from the left hand side. You cut inside, you get those long range curlers away. I think he could be pretty effective that way. So yeah, he's kind of versatile on the face of it. For the English League Challenge, it could be a useful one. The fact he's got a few roles he could play, but I think it's a bit of a stretch most of these positions. I do think on the left hand side is by far the most where he give you the most value with the qualities he's got, and he has been boosted pretty nicely, particularly with the finishing physical contact. But it's not quite the best version we've had of Brennan Johnson. And like I say, the passing sucks. The balance could be a bit better, so it's not perfect. There are one or two areas I'd like him to be improved, and through passing would be a nice addition as well. But especially on that left wing, as a left wing forward, prolific winger, I think in that position in particular, he could be a pretty decent one. Could do some damage for you. So yeah, there are some negatives with this card, but on the whole, it's a pretty decent one. I think for a fair few people, it could be a pretty handy option as a left winger for the English League Challenge. And from Tottenham to Arsenal, we've got Thomas Partey, box-to-box DMF, got a face scan, only standard form. We've had a few versus of Partey, obviously, at this point. Had quite a few from Arsenal. It's a partner club, of course. We've had a player of the week card. It was quite similar overall. Stats obviously shuffled around a bit. Actually got better passing, that player of the week card. I've had a few highlight versus of Partey. To be honest, it's a similar level to the better ones, really. But the stats, again, they get shuffled around a bit. You always get that with these trending cards. From his GP card, had a bit of a boost on the ball. We've lost 4 points off tackling. Okay. We had a boost to physical contact though. Very nice boost to his pace and his balance. Yeah, but on the whole, this isn't the most exciting version of Partey. Like I say, there's 1 and 2 verses where his passing is better, and that's very important. We're just about at the +3 mark for the low pass, so he's kind of all right, but it depends where you want to use him, and obviously it depends on how high you want that low pass to be. I want it to be a bit higher personally, so yeah, it's not the most exciting looking card of Partey. That boosts his balance. That's still pretty bad though, and taking a bunch of points off his tackling. I mean, they put him in player of the season pack as a defensive midfielder and nerfed his tackling. Okie dokie. Let's go to the skills. What they done skill wise? Okay, taken away, cut behind and turn, rising shot. And captaincy, we've gained 1 touch pass. Okay, so that is good. Outside curler is a handy one. Man marking good. Blocker also good. Okay, so they've done some good work with the skills. You've got 1 touch and through. Outside curler is a handy one. Then man marking, search and blocker, starting fighting spirit. Cool. Okay, so for defensive mid, we've got a very good selection skills, and for a centre mid as well, to be fair. But yeah, on the whole, I mean, to me, I don't really watch Arsenal, but it seems like a strange choice. I don't think he even played that much. Never mind, was one of their better players, but for whatever reason, that's who they've chosen from Arsenal. On the ball, he's okay. Passing, like I say, matter of opinion, it's kind of borderline for me. Defensively, if they hadn't announced his tackling, I'd have said he's decent defensively, but as a defensive mid, you want more on tackling. That's a bit of a shame. And down the right, like I said, the balance is poor. Apart from that, he's alright. So, as a defensive mid, without the tackling being better, I think you'd only want to use him really in a kind of double pivot. I don't think you'd want to really hold him back, and obviously with the box to box, he'll still be getting up and down the pitch quite a lot as a DMF. So as a real out-and-out DMF, you'd want to put the defensive instruction on him, but I don't think he's quite good enough defensively to be that guy holding your midfield together and protecting the defense. But in some kind of double pivot though, like I say, I think it could be handy, maybe in a diamond or something where there's at least one other midfielder doing a lot of the defensive work. Or as an all-rounder as a centre midfielder, could be alright, but the attacking awareness sucks. I'd like the passing to be a bit higher as a centre midfielder. I'd like the bounce to be a bit higher. So yeah, pros and cons with this Partey card. Very good selection skills with the additions they've given him. Very good indeed. And there are some decent attributes there, but I don't want decent attributes. I want at least one or two areas here to be good. I want him to excel in some kind of area, and there's nothing really exciting about this card for me. So yeah, as an all-rounder, as a useful one for the English League Challenge, stick him in your midfield if you need an option. Yeah, he could be decent, but this for me is not the most exciting version of Partey. It's not the most exciting card for me. It's just a kind of solid, useful one, but just not a particularly exciting one, really. Yeah, next we have the new Man United signing, Matheus Cunha. So Cunha has been changed from a whole player to a creative playmaker. That might be good news for you, or it might be bad news. He's got a face scan. I feel like that needs updating. It will be updated soon because he plays for a partner club now. He got unwavering form. Weaker foot usage is 1+1. Yeah, usage, not accuracy. Interesting. We had a few player of the week cards with Cunha. We've had a creative playmaker and a whole player that weren't quite as good as this one. A couple of other whole players are kind of similar. One's got a booster. You could argue that one's slightly better when it's boosted, but pretty similar really. Points kind of shuffled around, of course. They always kind of alter the profile. Had a bunch of highlight versions of Cunha as well. If you train his highlight cards as an attacking midfielder, none of them are as strong physically as this one. And we tend to have a bit more finishing on this version as well compared to his highlights. Some of them are a bit better on the ball though. Some of his highlights are pretty comparable as a centre forward, and a couple of them can be used as a wide forward as well. So pros and cons with the highlights and the player of the week cards all kind of shuffled around a bit, but yeah, a bunch of them are quite similar to this one. From his GP card, they boosted his attack awareness, his low pass, and his finishing. Taking 2 points off his tight possession. Don't know why they bothered doing that, but it's still fine. Right column has had a bit of a boost, especially his physical contact. They've increased his balance. Crikey, they've increased the balance on an attacking player on the trending card. That's incredible. So we're +8 on balance. Have I read that wrong? Yeah. Right, let's look at the skills before I pass out. We've lost Sombrero, Dipping Shot, and Penalty Specialist. We've gained Soul Control, lovely addition. One Touch Pass, very welcome addition. And Gamesmanship, yeah, not a bad one. So yeah, some good skills there. Again, we've got long range curler, got long range shooting, got first time shot, and then One Touch Pass and through passing. Soul Control, heel chick, nice ones to have. Yeah, nice selection of skills on this guy. But again, you look at the different positions, which position is he going to suit? It's kind of similar to João Pedro in a way, because as an attack midfielder, 84 low pass with one touch pass and through passing. Is he going to be quite good enough for passing for an attacking mid? I'm not sure personally. Centre forward, 82 attacking awareness, 83 finishing. Are they high enough for centre forward? I don't think so. I think with Cunha, you probably best put him in between the two as an SS. In which case, I think the passing is, there's not quite so much emphasis on his passing as an attacking midfielder, and there's not as much emphasis on his finishing as a centre forward. I think just behind the attack as a creative playmaker, probably where he's best suited. He does have a lot of qualities, Cunha. He's got pretty good pace, got a bit of physical strength, reasonable balance. Obviously, that's been boosted inexplicably. He's good on the ball, good attack awareness, finishing, got the shooting skills and the passing. Like I say, I don't think that's quite high enough to be an attacking mid, but anywhere further up the pitch than an attacking mid, I think that's fine with one touch pass and through passing. So yeah, it's plenty to be said for this Cunha card. The change of playing style might not suit everyone. I think most would probably prefer a whole player, but Creative playmaker works well for a lot of people though as well. And yeah, it's a decent version of him. Like I say, we've had a lot of versions of Player of the Week and highlight and so on. There might be one or two that you prefer depending on the playing style. I know we've had deep line forward, we've had whole player and stuff, but one or two that have been arguably better for some people depending on the profile, but this is a good one. Man U fans probably be quite pleased to get this one, but I fully expect there'll be at least one or two more Cunha cards in the very near future now he's joined the partner club. So yeah, it is a good card. The profile might not work for everyone. It's a question of which position he's going to give you the best value in. For me personally, like I said, I'm not sure he quite cuts it as an attacker mid or a striker, but he's not far off. But I think certainly as an SS, knocking around kind of just behind the attack, or if you put him wide left actually, you could put him at wide left as a kind of wide left SS. And then you've got that long range curler when he cut inside into his right foot, and then you've got the passing, got some good skills, decent pace, good on the ball. Yeah, wide lefty could be very interesting actually as a wide left SS. I'm not sure a creative playmaker as a wide SS is going to be the best playing style, but you could do that. So as another use for him, wide left SS or as an SS just behind the attack, I think that kind of use, that kind of position, just off the attack could be where he's best. He could be very effective, but it just depends on the playing style and the overall profile. He's not going to necessarily work for everyone, but in terms of the overall ability and the skills as well, it is obviously a good Cunha card, just whether it works for you, the overall profile. But for a fair few people, it could be a very useful card to have. Next we got Jarrad Branthwaite from Everton. So got a face scan and build up centre back. He is tall, 6'5", I think that is. He's a big tall boy. He's a lefty, got a left-footed build-up centre-back. We've had just one previous version of Branthwaite. That was a Player of the Week card. And this is just basically a slight upgrade, really. Got a bunch of attributes that are a few points higher than that Player of the Week card. They've also got more skills. They have added just about everything here except for man marking and interception. So loads of additions here. Heading and aerial there. You've got man mark, interception blocker, sliding and acrobatic. One touch pass and low lofted pass, nice bonuses. Soul control on the centre back, don't always get that. I feel like I've said that a couple of times lately. I think the only one you're really missing there for a centre back is fighting spirit. Shame we've not got that, but yeah, some great additions to his skills there. From his GP card, it's a pretty bog standard trending centre back boost, really, just like we're getting the Player of the Week packs and Player of the Month. They've slightly nerfed his defending, but it's still strong enough. You're still going to go 90 plus on all four of your defensive attributes. And yeah, like I say, it's a bog standard centre back boost on one of these trending cards. It boosted his pace, boosted his stamina, boosted his passing. He's actually got a bit on his jumping and balance as well. So yeah, 6'5", 84 jumping, no superiority. This guy's gonna be strong in the air. This guy, that's obviously the way the game is these days. A lot of people are spamming crosses to big tall strikers, so that's good. Boost to his jumping, big tall guy, strong physically as well, aerial superiority. Yeah, this guy looks very appealing actually. I think a lot of people can be very pleased if they get this guy from this pack. He's a big, tall, strong centre back. He's got all the defensive attributes. He's got a bit of pace as well and stamina because he's got that boost that he's had. That's a strong centre back card. I think for the English League Challenge could be a fantastic option. But even outside of that, I'm looking around here. I don't see an obvious weakness. As tall as he is, the balance isn't brilliant. He's not great on the ball. When you get him in possession of the ball, he's not going to feel amazing. But I think you kind of expect that on a big, tall centre back. And outside of that, and the fact that fighting spirit would have been a nice addition to his skills. Outside of that, great skills, great attributes. I think he's a good centre back. He's got just about everything you want. Obviously, he's not on the level of the kind of top kind of legends. Your kind of Maldinis and all the rest. All those types. But outside of that, especially for the English League Challenge, but even outside of it, if you're free to play, you don't have too many of those beefy legend cards. I think that's a very, very appealing centre back card. That's a good strong card. And next we have Bryan Mbeumo, who looks to be leaving Brentford. Who knows where he's going to end up? Manual at Spurs, most likely. He's got a face scan, of course. Prolific winger, right wing forward. We got a few versions of Mbeumo. We've had 4 Player of the Week versions. There was an old prolific winger version that wasn't quite so good. The other 3 are pretty similar on the whole. I think one's a creative playmaker. It's 2 with the booster. One's a whole player, one's a prolific winger. The ones with the booster arguably maybe slightly better overall, but then there's a lot of difference overall already. They're all pretty similar. Couple of highlight versions of Mbeumo in the past as well. There's one in the Premier League pack, wasn't quite as good as this one. And there's one in some kind of legend box. It's about the same overall, but I would say overall this version looks a bit better. So this is about as good a version I think we've had of Mbeumo. It looks pretty strong. Good pace, decent kicking power behind his shots, bit of physical strength, a little bit of bounce. I'd like to be a bit higher, to be fair. He's decent on the ball. Attack awareness and finishing, certainly the finishing are decent for a wide man. Passing, low pass 78, you'll hit 80 with your game plan boost for that. Have we got any passing skills? Yeah, we've got through passing at least, okay. What have they changed here skill-wise? We've lost scissors feint. We'll keep losing that one. Cut behind and turn. Dipping shot, and again, heel trick. That's a shame, I like heel trick. So we've lost that, but we've gained double touch. We'll keep getting double touch. First time shot. Through passing is new, interesting. That's a good addition. And then fighting spirit. So we've got a pretty good section of skills here. Again, long range curl, long range shooting, and first time shot. So we've got the shooting skills coming off that right wing onto his left foot, assuming that's where you're going to use him. Through passing is a nice addition in any position. He's got pinpoint crossing as well. Yeah, a good section of skills there. I don't think that you're going to play this guy through the middle necessarily. I mean, you could use him as an SS. No active playing style there. He's a prolific winger. As an SS, the passing maybe a little bit on the low side. He's got through passing. It could be lower, but I'm not sure his passing is quite where I'd want it for an SS. I think you can certainly get away with him now. He's got a bit of physical strength. Certainly got the pace. He's good in the ball, awareness and finishing. Could do a job as an SS. Maybe he's behind the attack, but I think wide right is the best space to use him. Centre forward with only 80 attacking awareness, not good enough for me. 83 finishing is still a bit on the low side as well. So I don't fancy him as a centre forward. Again, no active playing style, but certainly off that right wing, cutting onto his left foot. Pace, pretty decent on the ball. His shooting is the main strength. Yes, his passing, his low pass will be okay for a wide man, with through passing especially as a skill. But with that 83 finishing before your game plan boost, you're going to end up on 85 finishing. Long range curl, long range shooting, first time shot. He's got a little bit of curl, some decent kicking power behind his shots as well. So yeah, as an inverted ring off that right wing, he looks pretty tidy. Like I say, I've had quite a few versions of Mbeumo at this point. We've had a whole bunch, and there's a few that are around about the same level. You might already have one that's about as good as this one, but this is a good version. I think it's about as good as any. I'd like to be maybe slightly better on the ball, maybe just, at least with the ball control type possession. Maybe it's a bit more balanced if I'm nitpicking, but I think there's a lot of qualities with this guy. I've got one of the Player of the Week versions of him. To be honest, I don't even remember which version it is that I've got of Mbeumo, but it's pretty tidy. I think it's one of the boosters. I've used him a few times in the English League Challenge. He feels alright on the ball. He's decent. He doesn't feel amazing. He's not the most exciting one. If I've got a few options on the right wing, he's not the first one I'd choose, but when I have used him, he's certainly done the job for me. He's decent. I use him very much the way I just described. Put him on the left, cut inside, ping some shots away. Decent. And I think that's what you're going to get with this card. So yeah, I don't think it's an overly exciting card. And if he joins Man U especially, I expect there's a likelihood we'll get one or two more cards of him that might be better than this. We'll see. Time will tell. But certainly this is a tidy one for the English League Challenge especially. Come off that right wing. You could put him through mid as an SS, maybe centre forward. But I think certainly right wing you get the most value as an inverted winger. It's a pretty tidy card. And we now have our 4,382nd version of Bruno Fernandes. Hooray! So, whole player attacking midfielder like he normally is. Got a face scan. He's had that slightly updated. Unwavering form. We have had quite a lot of versions of Bruno Fernandes. Actually, they've added SS. Just noticed that. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Actually, you might want to play him as an SS. That's a nice addition. Yeah, we've had a lot of Bruno Fernandes cards. We've had a lot of Player of the Week cards all shuffled around. We've had orchestrators, we've had deep line forwards, we've had box to box, we've had defensive mid, we've had right mid, we've had a right wing forward that might have been at the World Cup. Yeah, he stacks up pretty well against his Player of the Week cards, but they all vary, you know. Some of them are a bit better on the ball, some of them have got, you know, maybe it's better finishing. Got some good pace on this one. Always different profiles on Player of the Week cards. There are some, especially the orchestrated one, which you might prefer, but it depends on what position you want to use him in, what play style you want him to have, and which attributes you want to be high. So yes, it is a good card, but it might not necessarily be the best version for you. Stacks up pretty well against his highlight cards that all tend to be attacking mid-hole players, I think. All kind of shuffled around a bit compared to this one, of course. Like I say, it is a trending card. I wouldn't say any of his highlight cards are necessarily any better than this one, to be honest. This is a pretty good version. The one in the recent Man United pack's pretty similar overall. Stats shuffled around, of course. Had a couple of free versions in recent times that aren't quite as good as this one. So yeah, it's a good version of Bruno Fernandes. Just another Bruno Fernandes card, really. And in terms of what they've boosted on this particular version of Bruno Fernandes, it's not just what they've boosted, it's what they've nerfed as well. We've lost 1 point from attacking awareness. Why? We've lost 4 points off ball control. Why? We've lost 1 point off tight possession, and this is all compared to obviously a GP guard and auto allocation. We've gained a point on low pass. Hooray! We've lost a point on lofted pass. Boo! We've lost a point on stamina. But where's the significant boosts? Had a boost on his finishing, had a boost to his defending. Awesome. He's got a few extra points on his kicking power, on his balance. They boosted the balance on 2 attacking players in this pack. Holy Wow. Acceleration's up a bit. And his speed is up by 15. Hello, there's the big boost. So, yeah, pace. You've got a, well, maybe not a quick, but a much quicker version of Bruno Fernandes than we normally get. There you go. Interesting. So he's not as good in the ball as he can be. That's a bit frustrating. Balance has been boosted. Still not brilliant. He's got a little bit of physical strength there. But yeah, more pace than he normally has. That's very interesting. So as a whole player, that whole player playing style will be active in all three of his positions. When he's making those bursts forward into attacking positions, he'll be bursting forward at pace compared to the way he normally does. That is good. It is good to have a bit of pace on the whole player, definitely. I like that. So yeah, it's an interesting version of Bruno Fernandes, this. Let's have a look at what they've changed skill-wise. They've taken away Marseille turn and heel trick. I think there'll be a fair few people disappointed with those two. Certainly heel trick, I'm disappointed to lose that. Penalty specialist and gamesmanship, though, I don't think those are big losses. We've gained double touch again. All these players have been doing double touches, apparently. Long range curler, very nice addition. First time shot, so again, we've got the shooting skills. Long range curler, long range shooting, first time shot. And fighting spirit, very welcome addition. Obviously, you've already got one touch passing, through passing, got pinpoint crossing, outside curler. Yeah, you got a very good selection skills on Bruno, shooting and passing. It's yeah, like I say, it's a good Bruno card. Depends on the profile if it suits you compared to whatever version you may already have. Certainly, if you don't already have a version of Bruno, yeah, it could be a very nice one to pick up. And you can play SS as well. They've added SS, so yeah, a few ways you could use him. Like I always say, as a centre midfielder with a whole player playing style, can't defend. I don't think I'll be playing this guy as a centre mid. I think you might as well just push him for a lot of the pitch and make the most of what he's good at, which is creating chances for you. But he can obviously shoot as well. And when he's making those attacking runs, especially into good attacking positions, with the pace he's got, finishing the shooting skills, yeah, he could get a goal for you as an attacking mid, or especially as an SS. I think it looks very interesting as an SS. It's just a shame he's not a bit better on the ball, really. But yeah, it's a good version of Bruno. Like I say, a lot of people at this point, if you like Bruno Fernandes and if you've got any interest in having a Bruno Fernandes card, I'd be amazed if you don't already have at least one version of him, the amount of versions of Bruno that we've had so far. If you've got a version you like, it might be, it might suit you better than this one, especially if you've got a Player of the Week card. But if you don't have a version at all, or if the version you've got doesn't suit you as much as this one, or if it's not as good as this one, it's like a very good, very tidy card. He's got the whole player playing style, but he's very much a playmaker, albeit with the added bonus that he's going to be making those attacking runs with that playing style and with the ability to shoot when he gets to good attacking positions and the pace. Plenty to be said for this guy. It's not necessarily the best version of Bruno we've had, but yeah, if it works for you, if he's got the right profile for you, it's better than any Bruno card you've got. Yeah, could be a very nice card to have. And Bruno's compatriot next, it's Rúben Dias, destroyer centre-back as usual. Got a face scan, of course. We've had a couple of Showtime versions of Rúben Dias that are better than this. Apart from that, though, we've never had a trending version of Dias. We've never had a Player of the Week card. It's quite surprising that. I'd one or two highlights that are a bit better than this. The stats obviously should get shuffled around a bit here and there on trending cards, so slightly different profiles and highlight cards. There was one in the coin store. I forget which player it was, but when they added David Villa and Guardiola to the coin store, one of them came with a few highlight cards, and of which this was one. So you could have had him with one of those players. I've had him. I already had a better version though, so I got rid of it. But yeah, if you got that one from the coin store, or if you got a recent freebie from that pack that had the English and Portuguese players in, you can match pretty much every attribute compared to this card, really, apart from his pace. So this is better than those cards, essentially because of the pace. He has been nerfed a bit defensively from his GP card, especially his aggression, but the pace has been boosted. Again, it's a bog standard trending centre-back boost. It's what they always do. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of a little bit boring, maybe lazy, you could say, but yeah, pace has been boosted. Balance, stamina, passing, that's essentially it, really. His jumping and physical contact haven't been changed at all. And they've actually taken 4 points off his heading. Why? So I guess he's worse at heading this season, but he can run faster. Cool. I'm fine with that, I guess. And one interesting change they have made, he's got blocker, which he doesn't always have. So that's good. They've also added one touch pass. Those are two scores they've added. One touch pass, a nice bonus. Got load off the pass as well. And defensively, throwing blocker into the mix means we've got almost every skill. Just lacking acrobatic clearance, really. So yeah, heading and aerial superiority, man marking, session blocker, sliding, capacity, fight spirit. Yeah, the only one you're really lacking is acrobatic clearance. You can live without that. It's a bit of a shame, but it's certainly nice for them to have added blocker because he doesn't tend to have blocker. certainly on his highlight cards, and we've not had a trending version, so I'm not sure they've ever put blocker on one of his cards. Probably a Showtime cards, they often do that, don't they? But yeah, we got blocker this time. Physically strong, defensively very strong. The jumping's not amazing, 6'1", so even with aerial superiority, he's not going to be amazing in the air, but he's not going to be bad either. And he has had that boost to his pace, a bit of a boost to his passing and the stamina as well. Unwavering form, plenty 2% for this Rúben Dias card. If I was going to be negative, then it's just another Rúben Dias card, but the fact that I have boosted his pace and the fact we've not had a trending card before, outside of his Showtime cards, possibly, I don't think we've had a version of Dias as quick as this, so that's probably the one real positive with this card, is that he's a lot quicker than he tends to be. He's got just about as much quality elsewhere as he tends to have in other areas, albeit they've nerfed his heading for some weird reason. And they're good in blocker, so yeah, plenty to be said for this card. For the English League Challenge, a very strong centre-back option. And if you've already got a version of Rúben Dias, you might have a Showtime card that's better, but if you don't have one of the Showtime cards, then you probably don't have one that's as quick as this, so you might prefer this one. But yeah, on the whole, just a very good, strong destroy centre-back card. And now we've got my boy Isak from Newcastle. So centre forward, goal poacher like he normally is. Got a face gun, which is about 10 years old now. Unwavering form. Weaker foot usage, +1. Usage, not accuracy. I've had a bunch of player of the week versus of Isak. There's a bunch of them that are pretty close to this one overall, to be honest, but they're all kind of shuffled around a bit. Sometimes not quite as much awareness. Maybe he's not as good on the ball. Overall, a few of them are quite similar, but I would personally say this player of the season version is just about the best. Probably just about. Not much in it. I've had a Showtime version recently based on the League Cup final. That was a bit better than this one, unsurprisingly. I've had a bunch of highlight cards of Isak. The better highlight cards are around about the same as this one, to be honest, so it compares pretty well to his highlight cards. The versions most people are probably going to be looking at in comparison are the one in the penalty box, the Didier Drogba penalty box. It's not quite as good as this one, sadly. And likewise, there's an old nominating contract version of Isak from probably about a year ago now. Likewise, not quite as good as this one, but they're not a million miles away. They're still very good, very usable cards. I've got the nominating contract one. I'm still happy with that one, to be honest. Compared to his GP card, we've lost 2 points of attacking awareness. Obviously, when you're a striker and you get a player of the season pack, your attacking awareness is lower than it normally is. That makes perfect sense, but you can afford that. You're still at the 90 mark, so that's still absolutely fine. He's had a nice boost on the ball, very nice dribbling. He's going to hit 90 with the game plan boost. Oof, interesting. Wow, +7 on balance. Another attacking player where they've increased his balance. Wow. And if that's not amazing enough, they've not increased his defending. What on earth is happening here? They've applied some logic here. What? Oh, crikey. Let's go to the skills. So, hello, double touch. Ball roll, double touch alert. So they've had a double touch. He's already got flip flap and soul control. So you've got the ball roll, double touch on Isak. And you've got dribbling hitting 90 with the game plan boost. I think a few people are going to be paying attention now. This is an interesting version of Isak. They've added long range curler, of course. All these players getting long range curler, long range shooting, one touch pass, fighting spirit. Okay, got some very nice additions, but we've lost some skills as well. We've lost scissors feint, cut behind and turn, chip shot control, acrobatic finishing, heel trick. We've lost some good skills there. I keep saying this and I keep forgetting whoever it was. Like, make yourself known in the comments, because one of the regulars commented a while back, a couple of months back, saying that on these trending cards they should add the skills to the 5 slots, because you can't add skills to a trending card with skill trainers. So they might as well use that space to add the new skills, and then you don't have to take skills away. Losing skills like acrobatic finishing on a striker, heel trick, cut behind and turn, good skills. They don't have to do that. Just stick them there. Put the new skills there. It's annoying, but we have lost some good skills, but like I say, we've got some good ones. You've got your ball roll double touch now. Long range curl is a really nice addition, very important one. That's a difference maker on strikers. One touch pass helps. Fighting spirit helps as well. So we've got good skills there. So yeah, no heading, no acrobatic, no aerial. He's not going to be amazing in the air. He's not got good jumping, even though he's tall. But on the deck, he's got a reasonable pace for a goal poacher. He's going to be very nice in the ball without dribbling, hitting 90 with the ball roll double touch. I think a lot of people are paying attention now. To be honest, you could use him wide left, you know, decent pace, on the ball without dribbling, awareness and finishing, long range curler. Isak wide left forward, cutting onto his right foot, hitting long range curlers. Could be interesting, that. Has he always got left wing forward? Actually, I need to check in the background here, because that's going to bother me. I'll just have a very quick check of his GP card. Yes, he does. So they've not added that. He's already got it. But yeah, left wing forward for Isak could be an option for you there. His passing is going to be absolutely atrocious, but awareness and the finishing are great for a wide man on the ball, especially with the dribbling pretty tightly. pace is all right. Not amazing bounce on quite a tall, lanky guy, so I don't know how smooth he's going to feel on the ball. He feels kind of decent to me, but I'm not that much of a dribbler. I don't know. He's got a bit of physical strength. Yeah, I think this is a good Isak card. I would like a bit more on the finishing. Shame he can't quite hit the 90 mark, but his finishing will be decent. Pace decent. Again, I'd like a bit more on his pace, to be honest, for a goal poacher, but he's got just about enough, I think. But yeah, it's a good version of Isak on the whole. There are a few slight concerns, a few slight negatives. Like I say, his passing's not amazing. I'd like maybe 1 or 2 more points on the pace, maybe the finishing, maybe the balance. A few of the skills they've taken away, I think I personally would miss 1 or 2 of them, but they have added some good ones. He is a good version on the whole. It's one of the better versions we've had of Isak, especially for that English League challenge. Could be a very tidy striker option, and just in general for your main squad, he could well do a very nice job for you. And you could even use him, like I say, as a wide left forward. Could be an interesting option there. So yeah, 1 or 2 slight negatives there, but on the whole, that is a very good version of Isak, and it could be a very nice striker for a lot of people to pick up. We finish up with Konaté from Liverpool. Build-up centre-back, got a face scan, big guy, 6'4", 6'5", unwavering form. You've got a big physical build-up here. I've had quite a few versions of Konaté. I've had a few Player of the Week cards. I think this one's probably just about better than all his Player of the Week cards on the whole. If you look at his highlight cards, the best highlight card he's had was a recent Premier League pack version. Goes to about the same level as this one overall. But that one in the Premier League pack has a bit more on his defending and his physical strength. This version of him compared to that Premier League pack one has a bit more pace, a bit more stamina, a bit more passing. Yep, you guessed it. He's had the usual Player of the Week style boost for a centre back. There's one in the penalty box. I forget if it's it's the Drogba pack. There's a version of him, and of course it's the Drogba one because I've had him about 7 times now. I'm not even exaggerating. I've had him at least 6 times. I think I've had him 7 times from that pack now. Which is annoying, but it is what it is. It's a similar story with the one from the penalty game, to be honest. He's not quite as good as the version of him from the Premier League pack, but he is a bit better than this one with some of his defending attributes. Got way more physical contact than this one, but less jumping, less pace and stamina. Not a massive difference overall, to be honest. Personally, if you got the one from the penalty game, I don't think this one's worth throwing coins at. Yes, you could argue slightly better overall, but I don't think there's that much of a difference that I'll be throwing coins at this pack trying to get him if I've already got the one in the penalty game. But he is a bit better, this one. From his GP card, the defending has been shuffled around, but like I say, it's your bog standard trending centre-back boost. He's still good enough defensively, but they've shuffled it around 1 or 2 points within those attributes slightly. He's had a big boost to his pace. In that speed, with your maximum boost going to 89, depending on which manager. I think Deschamps and maybe 1 or 2 other managers get +1 on speed. You could get to 90 speed. Crikey, a big physical strong boy like Konaté at 90 speed. Hello. Yeah, big boost to his pace. They've also boosted his jumping and balance and his stamina. They've taken 4 points away from his physical contact though, and they've taken 4 off his heading as well. That's annoying. They took 4 off Rúben Dias' heading. Why would they do that? If anything, it could have done with boosting a bit. So yeah, that's annoying. But only a few on his low pass, but 8 points on his lofted pass. But yeah, slightly annoying, a bit of a nerf on a couple of attributes, but on the whole, with that jumping boost being boosted, especially on a big tall guy, similar to Branthwaite, you know, you got a defender who's got a bit of pace and stamina because it's a trending centre back. He's strong enough defensively, he's strong enough physically, but they boosted the jumping along with his physical strength, his height and aerial superiority. This guy's gonna be strong in the air. What have they done skill wise? They've just added a few. I don't think we've lost any. They've added heading. Okay. So they've taken 4 points off his heading, so he's worse at heading than normal, but he's got the heading skill. So he's better at heading, he's worse at heading. He's better at heading, he's worse. Yeah, they've added heading. They've added low lofted pass, so we've got weighted pass and low lofted pass. That's nice. And they put 8 points on lofted pass as well, so that's interesting. When you're playing the ball forward with this guy with a lofted pass, nice boost on lofted pass, and he's got weighted and low lofted pass skills. Got fighting spirit, that's a new one, and blocker, interesting. So heading and aerial superiority. Have we got the complete set defensively? Man marking, interception, blocker, sliding, acrobatic clearance, fighting spirit. That is a pretty complete set of skills for a centre back. This is a really strong centre back card. Unwavering form as well. Flat pace on a big physical boy. Yes, they've nerfed the physical, but it's still going over 90. Jumping has been boosted. It's not amazing, but it's been boosted. 84, and you've got good height on this guy and aerial superiority. He's going to be strong in the air. Defense is shuffled around a little bit, but you're basically looking at about 90 or so for all four of those. The passing is pretty reasonable for a centre back, especially the boost they put on lofted with the weighted and low lofted skills. You've got a very good centre-back card here. Build up if that playing style works for you. It works for me. Physical profile, very big, strong boy. And with that pace they've given, like I say, you're going to go up to 89 for speed with your maximum game plan boost. And depending on which manager you got, you could get up to 90. This is a strong centre-back card. So yeah, it's one of the better versions of Konaté I've had. And yeah, I think for a lot of people when they look at this pack, it's going to be one of the more appealing cards in the pack. It's a very good, strong centre-back card. So there is your Premier League Player of the Season pack. We expected this to be a good pack, obviously. I mean, I reviewed the Turkey pack a day or two ago, and it wasn't quite so exciting. A few very nice ones in there, but as you'd expect from a Premier League pack, it's a better pack on the whole. I think everyone gets the English League Challenge. I don't think any part of the world doesn't get that one anymore. So I think for a lot of people, it's going to really appeal. Even if you look at the lowest rated cards in this pack, even El Khannouss could be a pretty tidy one. I think off the left wing could be a tidy one to have. Not amazing, but pretty tidy. Likewise, Iwobi could be pretty decent. Kluivert looks pretty good. Wood, I think, looks like a very usable fox in the box, very tidy one. Ramsdale, very good Ramsdale card. Wan-Bissaka, if you like a defensive fullback, a lot of people will be very tempted by that card. Attacking fullback Cucurella is good. Muñoz, very interesting profile. They're giving him right mid, box to box. Depends how you'd want to use him, whether he fits into your whole kind of tactical setup. Might be useful for some people. I think other people might not find that so interesting. João Pedro, again, I'm not sure everyone's going to really fancy this guy. He's not necessarily got the profile for everyone, but if he does suit you, if his profile suits you as a deep line forward, he could be a tidy one to have. Morgan Rogers, I think, is going to be one of the more interesting ones in this pack. He's going to be one of the most popular cards in this pack, I think. He's technically looking very good. He's got some end product, but physically, that profile he's got, the balance and the physical contact, being good on the ball. Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the more popular ones in this pack. Brennan Johnson doesn't look too amazing in any position except for left wing for me. They've added a left wing forward, and I think that's the saving grace for him. I think as a left wing forward, he could actually be pretty tidy. Delap, not amazing, but solid striker. What else we got? Cunha. Yeah, it could be reasonable. Depends on the playing style. It's one of the better versions we've had of him. Could be a decent one, I think, just off the attack, maybe through the middle or as a wide left SS. Partey, not an amazing one. I don't think that's a particularly exciting card. Just a kind of solid midfielder. Could be a useful one to have. Mbeumo, tidy right winger. Inverted winger, cutting onto his left foot. Could be very dangerous. Branthwaite, Dias, Konaté. Got three solid centre-backs. I think especially with the height and the aerial ability, Branthwaite and Konaté for me both look very interesting. Two build-ups there, lefty and a righty. Bruno Fernandes, yet another Bruno Fernandes card, but it is a decent one. Boost to his pace, got SS. Could be an interesting one for a lot of people. Then my boy Isak, good Isak card. One or two areas in which they could have maybe made him a bit better. A couple of decisions with the skills, which I don't necessarily agree with, but that is a good version of Isak. So yeah, it's quite a lot of good cards in there. It's going to depend on what versions you've already got of these cards and how well they suit you and so on. But certainly, at the very least for the English League Challenge, there's a lot of value to be had potentially from this pack. So yeah, I'll be interested to know you guys' thoughts. Let me know what you think of this pack if you're going to be having a spin on it. It's the first time I've had a proper look at it, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to spin on it. For me personally, I might just stick with my no-name contract Isak, to be honest. Outside of that, do I really need any of these cards? I quite like the look of Branthwaite. I definitely like the look of Rogers. Kluivert looks quite good. I need Chris Swift for my Newcastle past and present. That's probably the one card I want. So yeah, there's a few decent ones. I don't know if I'll spin it, but yeah, let me know if you will. I'll be interested to know you guys' thoughts. Depending on how I get on today with all the things I need to get done, I might stream today. Be cool to chat to you guys about this pack. But yeah, hopefully this video has helped you to help you make your decisions about whether you're going to spin it. Thank you for watching. As always, I really hope that you found this useful. I will review the Showtime players. There's those 5 Showtimes from the Club International World Cup Championship Doodle Bobs, whatever you call it. I'll try and review that one today and get that live either tonight or tomorrow if I can. I'll do my best. So look out for that one. Look out for a live stream hopefully today. Otherwise, I'll see you Thursday for whatever the hell they release on Thursday. So cheers for watching. Take it easy. Have a fantastic week. I'll see you soon.